In the vast cold expanse of the Orion frontier, a small diplomatic vessel drifted silently among the star-scattered darkness. Kim Yoon-ji sat at the navigation console, her fingers moving quickly across holographic displays. Outside the reinforced windows, distant planets glimmered like tiny blue and green jewels against the black canvas of space. The ship's communication system suddenly crackled with an unexpected signal. Yoon-ji's heart raced as three massive alien vessels emerged from quantum stealth, their metallic hulls reflecting the starlight. These were not the standard reconnaissance ships she had encountered during previous diplomatic missions. The Omega Collective's vessels moved with calculated precision. Their weapon systems powered up, casting an ominous blue glow across the ship's exterior. Yoon-ji knew immediately that this was no routine encounter. Her training kicked in, and she began emergency communication protocols, sending encrypted, distress signals back to Earth. Before she could complete the transmission, a powerful electromagnetic pulse disabled the ship's primary systems. Lights flickered, and control panels went dark. Yoon-ji could hear the mechanical sounds of docking, clamps connecting to her vessel's hull. Her hand instinctively moved to the emergency weapon compartment, retrieving a small defense module. Alien boarding parties entered with surprising speed. Their exoskeletons gleamed under the emergency lighting, multiple appendages moving with mechanical precision. Each creature stood nearly 2.5 meters tall, with silicon-based armor that seemed to absorb and reflect light simultaneously. Yoon-ji knew resistance was futile. These were not creatures interested in negotiation. They wanted information, strategic human data that could compromise Earth's defensive capabilities. She activated a small data encryption device hidden within her communication badge, ensuring critical information would remain secure. The first alien approached her. Its communication translator produced a mechanical voice that seemed to bypass traditional sound waves, resonating directly within her mind. Human diplomat, surrender communication access codes. Resistance is mathematically impractical. She remained silent, her training preventing any involuntary responses. The alien's appendages began scanning her biorhythms, analyzing potential psychological pressure points. Each movement was calculated, each gesture designed to extract maximum information with minimal physical intervention. Hours passed. The interrogation became a complex dance of psychological manipulation. The aliens used advanced neurological scanning techniques, attempting to bypass her mental defenses. Yoon-ji's training in diplomatic resistance became her strongest weapon, a shield more powerful than any physical protection. Her thoughts drifted momentarily to Park Jae-hwan, the military strategist who had personally trained her in psychological resistance techniques. His words echoed in her mind. They can scan your brain, but they cannot understand human unpredictability. The alien interrogators became increasingly frustrated. Their computational models could not predict her responses. Each attempt to break her mental barriers resulted in complex algorithmic failures. What they perceived as weakness was actually her greatest strength: human adaptability. As the interrogation continued, Yoon-ji realized she was not just fighting for herself. She was a representative of humanity, a single point of resistance against a technologically superior alien collective. Her silence was a message. Humans would not be easily conquered. Unknown to the aliens, her encrypted distress signal had reached Earth. Deep underground military installations were already processing the information. The Sentinel Protocol, a classified defensive strategy, was being activated. Each moment of her resistance was providing crucial data for humanity's response. The ship's internal systems, though seemingly disabled, were quietly collecting information. Every scan, every psychological probe was being recorded and transmitted back to human intelligence networks. What the aliens believed was a simple interrogation was actually becoming a comprehensive intelligence-gathering operation. As another alien approached with more advanced scanning equipment, Yoon-ji maintained her calm. Her eyes, though showing no external emotion, burned with an inner determination. She was the first line of defense, a single human standing against a technologically advanced alien threat. The interrogation would continue. But humanity's response was already being prepared. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, a massive underground complex hummed with quiet intensity. Massive cooling systems maintained a constant temperature, protecting the most critical military secret of the 22nd century. Park Jae-hwan stood before a wall of holographic displays, his fingers moving rapidly across quantum interfaces. The Sentinel Protocol was more than just a military strategy. It was humanity's ultimate insurance policy against total extinction. Rows of cryogenic chambers stretched across enormous chambers, each containing a carefully selected warrior. These were not ordinary soldiers, but the result of decades of genetic and psychological research. Each chamber contained a human who had been meticulously chosen. Physical strength was only the beginning. These soldiers had passed through multiple layers of psychological screening. Their minds were as carefully engineered as their bodies, resilient, adaptable, and virtually unbreakable. Genetic modifications went far beyond traditional human limitations. Neural pathways had been enhanced to process information at speeds previously unimaginable. Muscle density, cellular regeneration, and stress response had been optimized to create the perfect human weapon. Jae-hwan reviewed the final checklist. 347 soldiers would be the first wave. Each had a specific role, a specific skill set that complemented the overall mission objective. Some were combat specialists, others were technological infiltration experts, and a select few were pure strategic minds. The cryogenic technology was revolutionary. It wasn't just about freezing human bodies. Each soldier's cellular structure was protected by nanomolecular stabilizers. Their consciousness would remain partially active, processing and adapting even during the deep freeze. This was survival engineering at its most advanced stage. Computer systems began the final activation sequence. Massive power generators deep within the mountain complex roared to life. Electricity crackled through quantum conduits, bringing the dormant soldiers closer to awakening. Each chamber was interconnected, creating a single neural network. Temperature controls began the delicate process of revival. It wasn't a simple matter of warming up. Each soldier's body needed to be brought back to optimal performance with microscopic precision. One wrong calculation could mean total system failure. Jae-hwan watched as the first set of chambers began to show signs of activation. Faint blue lights indicated successful cellular stabilization. Vital signs started to appear on the monitoring screens: heartbeats, brain activity, cellular regeneration rates. The military leadership had spent years preparing for this moment. The attack on Yoon-ji was just the trigger. Humanity had been collecting data on potential alien threats for decades. This was not a reactive measure, but a carefully planned response to potential galactic conflicts. Each soldier carried more than physical enhancements. They were equipped with advanced neural implants that could interface directly with combat systems. Their suits were more than protection. They were living, adaptive technological ecosystems that could modify themselves in real time. Communication protocols were equally advanced. These soldiers could communicate through quantum entanglement, sharing information faster than light itself. No alien technology could interrupt or decode their communication network. As the revival process continued, Jae-hwan thought about the mission ahead. This was more than a rescue operation. This was a statement. Humanity would no longer be a passive species in the galactic ecosystem. They were preparing to become active players, capable of defending themselves against any threat. The first soldier opened his eyes, then another, and another. The chamber room filled with the sound of controlled breathing, of bodies coming back to full awareness. Each soldier's first moment of consciousness was a testament to human engineering and determination. Jae-hwan approached the first activated soldier. No words were necessary. A simple neural handshake confirmed everything. They were ready. The mission would soon begin. Humanity's most advanced warriors were awake, and the universe was about to witness their power. Outside the mountain complex, the world continued its normal routine. No one knew about the warriors being prepared. No one understood the technological marvel happening deep underground. But soon, everything would change. The first warriors emerged from their cryogenic chambers like ghosts rising from deep sleep. Their movements were precise, calculated, almost mechanical. Each soldier's body showed no signs of muscle atrophy or weakness, a testament to the advanced preservation technology. Kim Hyun-woo, the lead tactical coordinator, stood at the center of the revival chamber. His eyes scanned each soldier as they completed their initial system checks. Neural implants connected, diagnostic systems ran internal evaluations, and combat suits began their adaptive calibration. The warriors didn't speak. They communicated through complex neural networks, sharing information faster than any verbal language could allow. Years of training and genetic modification had transformed them into something more than human, living weapons with extraordinary capabilities. Jae-hwan approached the primary group, his tablet displaying multiple layers of mission parameters. The objective was clear: retrieve Yoonji and deliver a decisive message to the Omega Collective. This was not just a rescue mission. It was a demonstration of human potential. Each soldier's combat suit was a marvel of engineering. Nano-adaptive. Materials could change color, density, and protective capabilities within milliseconds. Weapons were integrated directly into the suit's structure, becoming extensions of the human body rather than separate tools. The first tactical briefing began. Holographic displays materialized, showing detailed star maps, alien ship configurations, and potential mission scenarios. The warriors absorbed information at incredible speeds, their enhanced brains processing complex data streams simultaneously. Hyun-woo noticed something different about this group. They weren't just soldiers. They were a unified organism. Their collective intelligence worked like a single complex machine. Where traditional military units would require extensive communication, these warriors understood each other instantaneously. Psychological. Evaluation showed no traditional emotional responses. Fear, hesitation, doubt. These were completely removed. What remained was pure strategic capability. Each warrior understood their role in the larger mission with crystal clarity. Weapon systems came online. Energy weapons that could cut through. Advanced alien armor materialized along their arms. Quantum displacement shields created invisible protective layers around each soldier. They were walking technological marvels, capable of facing threats beyond human imagination. The mountain complex buzzed with anticipation. Massive launch systems prepared for deployment. Underground tunnels extended miles in every direction, providing multiple exit strategies. This was more than a military base. It was a technological fortress designed to protect humanity's most advanced warriors. Hyun-woo gave the first verbal command. Preparation complete. Mission activation in 30 minutes. The word seemed almost unnecessary given the neural communication already happening between the soldiers. Each warrior began final system checks. Neural implants synchronized, creating a comprehensive combat network. Their suits ran millions of potential combat scenarios in seconds, preparing adaptive strategies for every potential encounter. The alien Omega Collective had no idea what was coming. They had believed their technological superiority made them unbeatable. They had not understood the true potential of human adaptation and engineering. Jae-hwan watched the preparations with a sense of calm determination. These warriors represented humanity's evolution, not just as a species but as a technological force capable of defending itself against any threat. The first group of 50 warriors moved towards the launch bay. Their movements were synchronized, almost like a single living organism. No traditional military unit could match their efficiency, their collective intelligence, their pure strategic capability. As launch doors began to open, revealing the vast, underground tunnels, a sense of inevitability filled the chamber. These were not just soldiers. They were humanity's response to potential extinction. They were the guardians, the protectors, the ultimate expression of human potential. The mission was about to begin, and the universe was about to learn a powerful lesson about human resilience. The Omega Collective's central command station hung like a massive metallic spider in deep space. Its complex network of technology stretched across multiple quantum-linked platforms, believed to be impenetrable by any known civilization. Hyunwoo's team approached silently. Their quantum displacement drives made them invisible to standard tracking systems. Each warrior moved with perfect synchronization, their neural networks creating a living, breathing combat intelligence that anticipated threats before they could materialize. The first breach happened without a sound. Quantum disruptors cut through advanced alien defense systems like digital scissors through paper. Alien security protocols designed over thousands of years crumbled within milliseconds of human technological intervention. Kim Ji-sung, the team's primary infiltration specialist, connected directly into the alien network. His neural implants transformed complex alien communication codes, revealing layer after layer of strategic information. What would take traditional intelligence agencies years, he accomplished in seconds. Alien defense systems began to respond. Automated weapon platforms activated, sending waves of energy blasts towards the human infiltration team. But these weren't ordinary soldiers. Their adaptive combat suits absorbed and redirected energy, turning alien weapons into nothing more than light shows. Each warrior moved like liquid metal, changing position and strategy faster than the alien computational systems could track. They weren't just fighting. They were systematically dismantling the entire Omega Collective's technological infrastructure. Communication systems across the alien platforms began to fail. Panic spread through quantum communication channels. For the first time in their technological history, the Omega Collective experienced something they had never known: complete vulnerability. Jae-hwan monitored the mission from the underground mountain complex. Every data stream confirmed what humanity had suspected. Technological superiority was not just about complex systems, but about adaptive intelligence. The rescue of Yoon-ji became a secondary objective. What was happening was more important: a complete demonstration of human technological capability. Each moment of the mission was sending a clear message to potential galactic threats. Alien defense platforms began to collapse, not through destruction, but through complete system failure. The human warriors were rewriting technological rules, showing that biological adaptability could overcome pure computational power. Ji-sung located Yoon-ji's containment chamber. With a simple neural command, advanced quantum cutters began precise extraction. No unnecessary damage, no excessive force, just pure calculated precision. The entire operation lasted 17 standard hours. By the time alien leadership understood what was happening, their entire technological infrastructure had been systematically dismantled. No weapons fired, no massive destruction, just a complete technological shutdown. Yoon-ji emerged from her containment chamber, looking tired but unbroken. The warriors surrounded her not as protectors but as an extension of her rescue mission. She understood immediately. This was more than a military operation. This was a statement about human potential. Quantum communication channels across the galaxy began transmitting the mission's success. No words were needed. The data itself was the message. Humanity was not a vulnerable species to be conquered or experimented on. As the human team prepared for extraction, the Omega Collective's central platforms hung like dead metal sculptures in space. Their complex technological networks now resembled nothing more than expensive, lifeless artifacts. Hyunwoo's final neural transmission was simple and clear. Mission accomplished. Returning home. The warriors moved with the same synchronized precision they had maintained throughout the mission. Each step, each movement calculated. They were leaving behind more than a defeated enemy. They were leaving a clear warning to any civilization that might consider threatening humanity. Space around them seemed to bend and shift as their quantum drives activated. In moments they would be gone, leaving behind nothing more than a technological ghost story that would be whispered across alien civilizations for generations. Humanity had just demonstrated that it was not just a species to be studied or threatened. They were a force to be respected. The United Nations Special Conference Room fell silent when Yoon-ji began her report. Her presence alone was a statement, a survivor who had become the voice of humanity's resistance against alien aggression. Global. Leaders from every continent watched as holographic displays showed the complete collapse of the Omega Collective's infrastructure. What had seemed like an impossible mission was now documented proof of human technological superiority. Park Jae-hwan stood beside her, his military uniform crisp and precise. No words were needed between them. Their shared experience had created a connection deeper than traditional communication could express. The warriors who had completed the mission were not celebrating. They were already preparing for potential future threats. Their neural networks continued processing and analyzing global security data, a constant vigilance that never truly stopped. Diplomatic channels across the galaxy began transmitting humanity's new stance. No longer would humans be seen as a passive, exploratory species. They were now a force to be recognized, respected, and potentially feared. Scientific institutions worldwide began studying the technological advancements captured during the mission. The quantum disruption technologies, the neural interface systems, the adaptive combat suits, each represented a quantum leap in human engineering. Yoonji's testimony revealed the complex psychological methods used by the Omega Collective during her interrogation. Her resilience became a symbol of human spirit, a living demonstration that technological superiority meant nothing against human determination. The underground mountain complex that had produced the warriors became a classified location. Governments worldwide understood that this was more than a military installation. It was the birthplace of a new human evolutionary strategy. Global military doctrines began immediate recalibration. The success of the Sentinel Protocol meant that traditional defense strategies were now obsolete. Genetic enhancement, neural networking, and adaptive combat technologies became the new standard. Economic systems also shifted. Massive investments poured into research and development of the technologies demonstrated during the mission. Corporations saw the potential for technologies that could transform not just military capabilities, but every aspect of human existence. The warriors themselves remained an enigma. They were not celebrities or heroes in the traditional sense. They were tools of human survival, living technology that could be deployed when necessary. Their existence was both a shield and a warning. Psychological. Research teams studied the warriors' neural networks. How could humans be modified to work with such precise synchronization? How could human potential be expanded beyond traditional biological limitations? Alien civilizations watching the transmission understood the message clearly. Humanity was no longer a species to be studied or conquered. They were a technological force that could dismantle entire infrastructures without firing a traditional weapon. Jae-hwan's final report was simple and direct. The mission had not just been about rescuing Yoonji. It was a calculated demonstration of human potential. Every action, every technological intervention was a carefully planned message. The global media struggled to comprehend the full implications. How could a single mission change the entire galactic understanding of human capability? The answer was in the precise, calculated nature of the intervention. Yoonji became more than a diplomat. She was now a symbol of human resilience. Her experience transformed from a potential tragedy into a story of survival and technological triumph. The warriors continued their silent vigil. Their neural networks remained active, processing, analyzing, preparing. They were not waiting for the next threat. They were ensuring that no threat would ever catch humanity unprepared again. As the United Nations Conference concluded, a new chapter in human history was being written. Not through diplomatic negotiations or traditional military might, but through pure, unadulterated technological innovation. The message was clear. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they were ready for anything.